Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE fan 0599 here again, and welcome back to WWE Fans TV Recap Show. And today's recap show will be for Arrow. So, this week's episode of Arrow is entitled Haunted. Now, before we get into this recap show, of course, there will be spoilers. So, if you have not seen this episode, please do not watch this review. But if you have seen the episode, if you just don't care about spoilers, continue on watching. So, let's get on with it. So, what this episode is basically about, it's about, Sarah is let loose. She let herself loose, and now she is, tearing up the city, and basically, Oliver and the team have to get her. And let's just say Oliver needs help from an old friend. So what did I think of this week's episode? This is honestly one of the best episodes of Arrow ever. It's by far the best episode of Season 4 so far. And it is one of the best episodes of Arrow. This honestly was a fantastic episode. It honestly is a great episode. I loved this episode of Arrow. It was a fantastically made episode of Arrow. I loved it. So yeah. So let's get into my positives. And my positives are the acting. The acting is tremendous with this episode. Everybody did such a great job. I thought, Stephen Amell, of course, as Oliver, he was great. I loved how, just how he was in this episode. He did such a great job, I really enjoyed, Oliver in this episode. He was great. Stephen Amell did such a great job in this episode, just did such a tremendous job. So, yeah, he was definitely great. Matt Ryan coming back to play the boy John Constantine, man, that was awesome. And he was great. I loved him in the episode. Definitely was awesome. I enjoyed him. He was so great in the episode, So, yeah, he was awesome. Of course, David Ramsey as Diggle, he was great. Emily Bett Rickards as Felicity, she was also great. So, yeah, just everybody was great overall. I really enjoyed everybody in this episode, So, yeah, everybody did a great job. The action was fantastic. The action was great, Very great action, in my opinion, And just some great action. It was great, so, yeah. Just the writing was great as well. I love the writing with the episode, the writing was great. The directing was tremendous with the episode. I thought, the directing just was tremendous with the episode. So, yeah, just tremendous directing. So, yeah. Let's get on with some of the moments that happened in this episode, because there were a lot of moments that happened in this episode. And the moments are, John Constantine. And he was in the flashbacks, actually, and we see throughout the episode that he's looking for this thing, and, he keeps Oliver hostage, basically, to try and get to where he wants to go, because he knows where it is, Oliver. And, when he gets this thing, Oliver saves his life because a booby trap is coming to kill him. So, yeah, I really like this. This is the best I've seen the flashbacks in a very, very long time. This was actually one of my favorite parts of the episode, honestly. I loved the whole flashbacks because, I think Constantine added a lot to the flashbacks. So yeah, it just was so awesome. Loved the flashbacks in this episode. They were great. When Oliver finds out Sarah's alive and she's going all crazy, he's not really mad, but he's just like, why did you keep this from me, in a way, so, yeah. And just, he's in devastated shock because he's like, she's alive again. So, yeah, that was a cool moment. And then we find out that Sarah has been looking for Thea, because she's been attacking people that look almost like Thea. And just that scene where she finds Thea and attacks her was very intense, actually. It was a very intense scene, a really great intense scene. So, yeah, that was great. And then later on, when she's in the hospital, Sarah comes back to finish the job, basically. And, Oliver and Laurel get there in time. And she jumps out the window, Sarah. Just goes, yeet, out the window. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then in the next moment we see that Thea's like, why don't we just use me as bait to capture Sarah? So that's what they do. They use they use Thea as bait so Sarah can get captured. And, they do eventually capture Sarah. And Oliver makes a quick phone call to Constantine. And he's like, remember that offer you owe me? Yeah, I'm going to need it. And, then we get on with the next moment where we see that they're about to perform the soul transfer. I think it's like a soul transfer back into Sarah's body. And that was really cool. You see that Oliver and Laurel, they're doing it together. And we see in this like spirit-like type world thing, we see that both Oliver, Laurel, and Constantine had to fight off these spirits in order to get Sarah's soul. So that was really cool, really enjoyable action scene. That was really cool. I'm just wondering how in the world did they get their gear in this dimension, but it's a TV show. What do you expect? So yeah, but that was really cool. I like that. Then the the soul transfer worked, and Sarah's back to her normal self. And then the final moment of this episode, we see that Detective Quentin Lance has been helping Diggle try to get some information about his brother. And, when Detective Quentin Lance gives him information about his brother, Diggle finds out the truth about his brother, finds out who he really was, And, that's kind of sad seeing what he really was. So, yeah, that was actually kind of sad, seeing, like I said, seeing Diggle, him being all upset because he found out what his brother really was. So, yeah. But guys, overall, this is a fantastic episode. I have no negatives with this episode. This is honestly one of the best episodes of Arrow. It is by far the best episode of Season 3, so yeah. So for the first time in the TV recap show history, we are going to give an episode an A+. This definitely deserves an A+. This is one of the best episodes of Arrow. This honestly, this is the best episode of Season 4 of Arrow. This is such a fantastic episode. I loved every single second of it. This episode was tremendous. So yeah. So what did you guys think of this week's episode? Leave in the comment section below. And I'm WWE Fan 0599. And we'll see you all later. Peace.